In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that you should know about playing Invoker. Now, I have a total of 1,262 games in Invoker, and that's only the ones that have been recorded. I definitely have more than that, including in Dota 1 as well, but I am sitting at a nice 57.1% win rate on this hero across all of those games, which is pretty damn good. So, in this video, I wanted to share some of the knowledge I have picked up along my way while playing this hero a hell of a lot, and share it with you guys so you can also apply it to your games as well. So if you find this video helpful, please do leave a like, and if you enjoy my content and want to see more of stuff like this, then do also subscribe to the channel too, as this is a new channel and I am making consistent content and will be continuing to do so for the future as well. So stick around. Anyway, let's get into this. Here's 5 things you should know about Invoker. So the first thing to know about Invoker is there is no specific build that is better than all other ones. Now, hold on to all you people who just gone, yes there is, Exort is better. Because guess what, there's people on the other side who just went, yes there is, Quas is better. And it's just, there's no specific one that is better. But that being said, it is very situational, and there are 2 specific builds that are the most popular, and that is the Quas Exort and the Quas builds. They offer different things, and the Quas Exort one is going to offer you higher damage on your right clicks in terms of your actual raw damage, as Exort does increase your damage on your right clicks, but it is also going to offer you those beautiful meteors and those beautiful sunstrikes. Now, Quas is going to offer you the EMP, the tornado, and the mobility of the movement speed from Wex as well. You're also going to get higher attack speed, which of course, yes, will also translate into more damage as well, seeing as you are attacking quicker. But overall, Quas is seen as more mobile, it's seen as more utility based, and the main things you're going to be looking at is using Cold Snap with Tornado and with EMP. With the Exort build, you're going to be looking more into your Forge Spirits, which is your 2 summons, and then also your Cold Snap, your Alacrity, your Sunstrike, and your Meteor. Both builds are incredibly good, but it depends again on the situation. Invoker is, you're going to hear this word situation a hell of a lot in this video probably, because he is incredibly situational on how you build him in all the games you play. You will take a look at your enemy hero sometimes and decide, nah, this game I am playing Quas and then next game you may go, I am definitely playing Exort and Quas this game, because look at it, they're all squishy little heroes that I can just sunstrike the crap out of. Why wouldn't I? But then you see a Medusa and you just want that EMP. So while you can also just even out all of your spells and just do whatever you wanted to do with Invoker, those are the 2 main and the 2 go-to builds that I would recommend you learn about. The next thing you need to know is that you do not actually level stats specifically on Invoker. The way the stats work on Invoker is, if you level up Quas, you're going to get yourself some strength stats. If you level up Wex, you're going to get agility, and if you level up Exort, you're going to get intelligence. Now, these all correspond with each one of those, and every time you level those up, that's where the stats are going to come from. However, each time you level these up as well, you are also going to affect different spells in different ways. So, picking the right build to suit you doesn't only just give you different spells, it is going to give you different potency in those spells, and it is also going to give you different potency in terms of your actual hero stats as well. These also correspond with different benefits too. So Quas is going to give you HP regen over time, and a good amount. For each instance you have, depending on the level, you're going to get a overall HP regen buff. For the Wex, you're going to get yourself movement speed and attack speed, and this is obviously going to stack up again with each instance you have. You can have 3 instances of each thing at one time, and then the Exort ones are going to give you right click damage on each instance of that too. But then leveling each of these, we're going to give you different things and benefits alongside that too. For example, leveling Quas is going to give you strength, like I said, so that is going to increase your HP pool, making you more tanky, making you more survivable. Leveling up your Wex is going to increase your agility, which is going to give you more armor. Leveling up your Exort is going to give you more intelligence, which is going to give you overall a bigger mana pool. So, these things are important to consider as well when also building Invoker, but it's also important to know about these as you are going to be referring back to this as you do level up through the game. Also, as mentioned, each level of these are going to affect your spells in different ways. So Quas, for example, is going to make your Tornado last longer from holding people in the air. The Wex is going to make your Tornado travel further, and Exort is going to make your Meteor do more damage or your Sunstrike do more damage and all that sort of good stuff. You'll learn this stuff as you're playing the hero more though, and it does make logical sense once you sort of add it all together. For tip number 3, In the past, you would want to get an Aghs on Invoker almost every single game. It was something that you needed and something that was just incredibly strong, because what it did is it reduced the cooldown of your invoke spell. The sooner you got Aghs, the sooner you could do those nasty combos that could one-shot the enemy team. This was obviously something that everybody wanted to rush for, and you would usually get maybe one mobility item first, and then you would get yourself an Aghanim Scepter. However, these days in the game, Invoke does not work like that. Your Aghanim Scepter no longer specifically reduces the cooldown of Invoke directly. What it is going to do is it was going to give you the Cataclysm ability from your Sunstrike. Cataclysm is basically where if you double tap Sunstrike, what it's going to do is rather than you having to skill shot place it, it is going to place 2 Sunstrikes at the very place that the all enemy targets are at that time. It is pretty easy for the enemy to dodge this, as they can see it there, they can see the animation of this, but if you have them locked in place with like a Chronosphere, or if you've timed it right with your Tornado, or if you have any sort of root or stun ability, you are going to be able to deal a massive amount of damage to those targets in this time. So you no longer need to rush an Aghanim Scepter to be able to get yourself the actual better cooldown on Invoke. That being said, the Aghanim Scepter still does slightly affect the cooldown of Invoke in a indirect way. Now, the way Invoke's cooldown works is the more you level up your Quas, Exort, and Wex, so just the higher level you get, the lower the cooldown of your Invoke is going to be. So as you progress through and you level up more, the faster you can make new spells. However, the Aghanim Scepter also gives you a +1 stat to each of these, meaning that of course Invoke will cool down a little bit more again, a little bit quicker, but it's not something you need to rush, not like it used to be back in the day. So anyone who's returning to the game, this is no longer needed. You don't have to rush this immediately. You can put this off a lot later. This opens up Invoker to be incredibly situational with items. He has changed a lot since I took a big long break in the past, and he is in a really strong place at the moment in the way that if your team needs an Orchid to maybe deal with a Juggernaut, you can just grab that Orchid. It's not going to affect you in a negative way. You can get that. If you need a Hex early on because they're rushing BKBs on the enemy team, you can get that Hex nice and early. If you're stomping the enemy and you really just want to close gaps on maybe things like a enemy sniper or anyone who can, you just get a Blink Dagger. You just get a Blink Dagger, you go down and you stomp them as much as you can into that dirt because you're Invoker and you don't give a shit. That is pretty much how Invoker works these days. You will build situationally. You're probably going to start off with your very first item, more or less the same, like getting a boost of travels early and stuff, but otherwise grab yourself whatever you need to stomp the enemy and just get on it, because not needing to get yourself an Aghanim Scepter early on is going to open you up to be able to just build whatever the hell you need to win. So for tip number 4, I'm going to show you a few basic combos just so you can get started in the games and actually get yourself some kills and how you would go about doing that. So the first thing that you're going to want to know about absolutely is going to be the good old Cold Snap, Tornado, Meteor. This is really good early game. You definitely want to take advantage of this. You just throw the Cold Snap, put the Tornado down, throw the Meteor, and then just hit the enemy that you're using this on. Squishy supports, all that sort of stuff, gonna be dead. As a Quas Wex Invoker, it's pretty much the same thing, except instead of a Meteor, you use an EMP. So Tornado with a Cold Snap, drop the EMP, and then just beat the crap out of the enemy until they're dead. Obviously, if you're playing an Exort Invoker, you have the double Forge Spirits as well. Take advantage of these with a Cold Snap too, and then just absolutely hit the enemy, use an Alacrity, all that sort of good stuff, and then drop a Sunstrike as they're running away, or if they're trying to man up to you, just Sunstrike them there too. And just beat them because you're Invoker, and why wouldn't you beat them? Other than that, there's not a ton more things that you can talk about. There's the good old Tornado, adding the same thing to the Cold Snap, Tornado, and then using a Meteor, and then also dropping a Blast of it as well. Obviously, Blast pushes it with the Meteor, giving you more damage out of it as well. From here, you can kind of go anywhere. Like, it's all up to you. You've got the Tornado and the Ice Wall. That's another good one, obviously, because the Ice Wall stops them from being able to move very quickly. As you can see, it might as well be permanently stunned with the Cold Snap, and it offers a really good slow. Then you can throw Meteors into the Ice Wall, you can put EMPs into the Ice Wall. There is so many different things you can do in Invoker, and it all comes down to sort of experiment. Like if it's this hero that's really squishy and can't escape, then use a Cold Snap and a Tornado, and then drop a Sunstrike as well, and then when they land, they get absolutely fucking destroyed from the Sunstrike. So keep that in mind, all these sort of things, but those initial ones with the Cold Snap, Tornado, Meteor, and the Cold Snap, Tornado to EMP, and just the Forge Spirits along with Cold Snap are your main go-to things while learning the hero, and then just slowly add stuff as you can until you end up like a madman. Okay, so tip number 5 is preparing your orbs for your next spell before you need it. This saves you time on your invoke cooldown and allows you to do those crazy combos such as this. Okay, so that one was really unrealistic. It's not going to be used in the game, but I mean, you possibly could if the enemy didn't have any BKBs, but overall, that sort of combo is only possible with pre-casting spells, and the same goes for taking advantage of 4-spell combos such as this. Now, the reason that you want to precast your spells is because it's going to put your invoke on cooldown again a lot sooner. So what I mean by precasting is, if I know I'm using Meteor after my Tornado, Sunstrike, Meteor Blast, I will prepare my Meteor, so Exort, Exort, Wex. And the second I cast my Tornado, I'm then going to press R for Invoke to make sure that my Meteor is invoked. This is done as soon as possible so that I can then make my blast for when I need it. So for example, I'll cast my Tornado, press Invoke, then drop my Sunstrike, Meteor, and Blast is ready to go. Nice and easy, take advantage of it. This is a massive thing to learn, and honestly, this opens up a hell of a lot more combos for Invoker. So learn to precast your spells. If you know what's coming next, get it ready, and it will save you a lot of time in the Invoke and get you a lot more combos out nice and smooth. There you go. That is 5 things that you should know about Invoker. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully found the video useful, and if you have any questions, please do leave them down below. If you did enjoy the video and you want more videos like this, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.